as the weather looks like it's going to cooperate. And here's a deep one from number 30, Rickard, from the three-point line. No good. Reagan clears the board. Here's Cantu. Back to Reagan. Clay, who's starting tonight, of course. Clay's a senior. Clay's considered one of the six man. He's going to take one from the right side from three. No good. Rebound cleared by Will Rickard. Here we go the other way. 3-0 still by Union City as Southern Wells not on the board. And they nail their first three is Keith Miller. A little bit of pressure now from the Raiders. Clay ends up with it. Clay again, bounce pass into Cowper. Cowper's going to, I think he's got away with a step there, but no good. Gets his own board. Boy, grabs another. Tanner Johnson got mixed up in that rebound by Cowper. And we're going back the other way. Good no call by the refs. I think if there's any call, Cowper could have got called for a step. As Moat clears a missed shot, and he gets a rebound. Here's Reagan the other way. Got Clay on the left. Back to Cantu. Cantu, nice fake. He's going to take a shot from inside the three, and he nails it. So Cantu, the senior, all 5 points by the Indians. You're going to expect a real aggressive game out of that young man. Nice pass inside to number 10, Johnson. No good. Reagan clears the board. Reagan, of course, one of the other seniors, playing in his last game at home. Unofficially, this is senior night. I will mention that Tuesday, as they're going to call a jump ball, Cowper spins Brandon Kirtley around. Cowper clearly the strongest guy on the court. But we got a makeup game Tuesday night against the Centerville Bulldogs. That was scheduled for earlier in the week, but of course the weather changed that. So this is kind of like this is senior night, but the last official home game will be next Tuesday for these Indians. And Cowper, nice little drive lane, little sky hook there. And Cowper's on the board with his first two. Austin Harris dribbles inside on Cowper. Good move by Cowper not to get that foul, and he takes it all the way in. So good bucket by Harris there, the junior. A little bit of pressure as Harris picks up Ryland Moat. Reagan now gets it past the timeline. Cantu, he's going to take another three from the right side. No good. Clay wasn't in there in time to get the board. Kirkley comes down with it. He's going to bring it past half court and take it all the way. And looks like Ryland Moat's going to get picked up with a little bit of a block. He wasn't in good position. So that will be Moat's first. And Camden LaFuse is making his debut now, the sophomore, coming in for senior Clay. LaFuse, we've mentioned him all year about the phenomenal rebounder that he can be. He's one of the amongst the TEC list as well as number 30. Nice feed inside, Will Rickard for two. And I think Coach Byron going to want to call a timeout. And both teams come to the benches. As we said, the Raiders having a tough year this year, been able to get 20 games in. They're 3-17. And they are 0-6 in the Allen County Conference. And the Indians, not too good of a record. They've had a troublesome year as well. They sit at 5-13 and 1-6 in the Tri-Eastern Conference. So it's been a rough year for both teams. As we mentioned, it's been a rough year for all the teams trying to play basketball. And we've mentioned it all year about, hats off to these athletic directors and the administrators of these high schools trying to get some kind of season with these kids in the pandemic situation that we've been in. So everybody's been safe, and we've had a pretty decently good season. We've had to cancel some games. Would have loved to see that Winchester-Union City game. Union City sitting at 8th out of 9 TEC teams at 1-6. Northeastern with an immaculate 8-0 record. They came into town not too long ago, and they have an outstanding Colton Van Landingham leading the conference at 24.1. Peyton Sparks from Winchester right behind him at 20.7. But Cowper, 13.8, and Cantu 13.3, still in that top 10 in the TEC in scoring. As LaFuse looks around, here's Moat. Nice pass over to Cantu. He's going to fire one up again from the left side. Cantu hits another one from the baseline. 8 points for the young senior. I expect a monument game out of Cantu and Cowper tonight. As Calp brings out another board, that's his third. Gets out to Moat. Cantu's trying to get position to square up for another three on the right side. Nice inside feed from Moat to Cowper, and he's fouled going to the bucket by number 30, Will Rickard. And Calp will go to the line taking two. Stay tuned at halftime. We're going to recognize 6 seniors. We're going to recognize Bruce Nicely, Zarin Cantu, Hunter Clay, of course, Calp, Hunter Reagan, and Desiree Morton are going to be the 6 seniors recognized in this winter sports at halftime for senior night. And Cowper nails his first one.
Entering the lineup for the Indians, number 20,
Anthony Velasquez will check back in. Normally a starter. Hunter Reagan comes back out. He'll get his first breather. As Union City looks to add to the lead if Cowper convert. Oh, we got the front of the rim there. Lost a handle on it, did Union, excuse me, I keep wanting to call them Union County with those colors, red, white, and blue. Try Southern Wells coming up from north from Adams County. Excuse me, Allen County. Well, Cout picks up his second one. That's not going to be good for Coach Byram, so Cout might be sitting on the bench for a little bit here at the 3:17 mark just in the opening quarters. Reagan checks quickly back in for Coach Byram, replacing Cout. Harris driving inside. Nice guard by Cantu. Kicked it back out, back to Harris. Nice inside feed to number 10, Johnson. He takes a shot and sinks it. 11-9. And Ryland Moat brings it back up, and quickly Harris picks him up, getting a little bit of a press there. LaFuse comes up with it. Here's the left side. Anthony's going to take one from the left on the three. No good. Nice board by number 30, Will Rickard, as we're going the other way. Union City playing essentially a 2-3 zone. You got Camden in the middle. Reagan back there. And oh, Reagan just over the outstanded. Reagan tried to get a shot, but Will Rickard got it off in time and sinks it, so it's tied up now. First tie of the game. And they handle the press well. Reagan now. But Cantu's asking for that ball. They got to keep an eye on him on the right side because Cantu's on fire. They quickly put a couple guys in his direction. Reagan, good ball movement. Back to Cantu. Cantu's going to fire one again, and he nails a three. So Aaron Cantu recognizes it's senior night, and we got a whistle here. And it looks like we got a little chippy here. Ref's telling them to clean it up, and I think they're looking at LaFuse and number 10, Tanner Johnson. I was looking the other way, so I don't know what happened, but the refs kind of made sure that they cooled their heads down a little bit. But Cantu, that's his third three. Cantu with 11 of the 14 points. And I just expect that's not going to let up. Cantu's going to fire it whenever he's open. Will Rickard. Kirtley now. In and out, no good. And who they're going to call that on Reagan? I don't know. I'm going to have to agree with the senior there. No, they're going to call that on.
Union City foul, number 24, Camden LaFuse.
They're going to call that on LaFuse. Reagan was looking, thought that might have been on him, but that's the first on the sophomore LaFuse. Of course, Quentin Mullins has checked in for Coach Penrod. Nice behind the back there by Kirtley. Guarded by Moat. As the Raiders trying to work the ball inside. Here's, as we mentioned, Mullins goes in. Nice defense by Camden LaFuse. Here comes Reagan the other way. Fast break. Taking it all the way inside. What a great play by Hunter Reagan, the senior, taking it coast to coast. 16-11, back up to a 5-point lead. It was at 11. 5 unanswered by the Indians. Excuse me, 4 unanswered. Check that. 5 unanswered. That's the math. Here's one from the right side by number 30. Will Rickard, no good, in and out. Velasquez ends up with it. He's got Cantu on the left-hand side, but he's going to take it in. Oh, nice block by number 12. Branson Reinhardt checked in. Anthony tried to take it in on the left side, and good block by Reinhardt being out there with the extension of those long arms, but it'll still remain Indian ball. Moat's going to take it out underneath his back. Nice position in by Camden. He's going to back his guy in, but here's Cantu firing from again. Cantu is on fire. That's his 4th three. Boy, if you're Coach Penrod, you got to deal with that. Cantu, huge smile on his face. Oh, and that's going to go the other way. What a great defensive play by Camden LaFuse, picking up that charge. As Harris came in out of control trying to get that bucket, and LaFuse had great position, went right to the ground. And then make sure Camden LaFuse is okay, because a couple games ago he was nursing an ankle injury. Looks like he's up and okay. Like the competitive spirit in that sophomore. Here's Moat. 8-point lead as we're under 30 seconds here in the first. 19-11. Cantu has been on fire this first quarter. And they'll see if the senior will get the last-second shot and see if the Indians will look for him. Nice inside to Cantu. Back to Reagan. Oh, a little too hot for Cantu. Tried to put it back in Reagan's hand. And Reagan was making a cut out of bounds. Turnover Indians. 15.7, you got to figure the Raiders are probably going to take the last shot. As Rickard will bring it back up. Harris now looking inside back to Rickard. Almost stolen away by Velasquez. In and out, no good. Camden fighting for the rebound. Could have been called on the sophomore, but he sent number 34, Mullins, to the ground, but no call. As the Indians will have 5.7 left to go. Here's Velasquez, going to take a shot inside. He's going to take it up. It's going to count, but no good. LaFuse tries to get it, and that's the end of the first quarter where the Union City Indians, 19 on the hot shooting of senior Zan Cantu on senior night, to Southern Wells 11 points. So what a great first quarter. 4 3-pointers by Cantu and a field goal. So right there, 15 points out of the 19 belong to senior Zarin Cantu. Kalp's been on the bench for most of the last of that quarter. And we'll see if Coach Byram will send him back in, because Kalp, of course, the senior, you're going to want to play on senior night, but Kalp's been prone to foul trouble with that aggressive play. And there's been many games where he gets that second and third one early, and he's had to spend time on the pine until that second half. So we'll see what Coach Byram chooses to do. We're talking amongst the TEC leaders. We mentioned Cowper and Cantu at 13.8 and 13.3 respectively in the Tri-Eastern Conference. That's good for 6th and 8th. Of course, we mentioned Van Landingham, the phenomenal senior from Northeastern, Peyton Sparks. What can you say about that young man from Winchester? 20.7 there. And, of course, rebounding. Sparks from Winchester averaging 14.0 rebounds a game. You got Cowper right behind him. But one thing of note is Peyton Sparks has played 20 games. Cowper's only got 14 games in, and Cowper had a couple games missed with that injury. So chances are, being 2 rebounds back, Cowper could be very well leading the Tri-Eastern Conference. And we said about the sensational sophomore that Union City has in Camden LaFuse. He's at number 6 at 5.6 a game. So Union City's got a lot to look forward to with some of these young kids coming up, especially with LaFuse being a junior, having a couple more years of high school career in basketball. I don't know what that one was, but nice rebound, though, by Mullins. He puts it back up, and he's going to go to the line shooting two. A little air ball shot by one of the Raiders, but it ended up in their favor, and they're going to call that on number 24, so that's going to be LaFuse's second foul. As Clay's getting ready to check back in, probably for LaFuse. And now they're going to allow senior Clay to come in. He will replace LaFuse. It's going to move Velasquez down on the block. And Mullins is going to take 2 shots. And, one shot, sinks that one. 19-14. 7:42 as we're just underway of the second quarter. Want to stick around at halftime. We have 6 seniors to be recognized on senior night. Typically, this would have been the last home game, but we mentioned just a few minutes ago that Centerville had to be rescheduled, so that will be replayed next Tuesday, weather permitting, of course. Looks like the weather will cooperate, so that will officially be the Indians' last home game. Curtly looked up and didn't take it. And nice sink by number 12, Branson Reinhardt, as he hits from the perimeter. Brings it within a 2-point game there, 19-17. So Indians can get about a 5-6 point lead, and here come the Raiders right back. Rylan Moat, Velasquez. Reagan's at the free throw line. Back to Clay in the right corner. Good ball movement by Coach Byram's troops. Here's Cantu. He's going to take one from the left side, a little bit off the rim, but Reagan's right there to try to get the rebound. A good, strong rebound, took it out of Reagan's hand, was number 34, Mullins, and we're going back the other way. As Miller brings the ball up, looking inside to Mullins. Kicks back out to Kirtley. Mullins over here on the right, guarded by the senior Cantu. Nice bounce pass into number 10, Johnson. And that's a good bucket by the Raiders. Now we're tied up again at 19. So we talked about these teams having a rough season with 3 wins for the Raiders and 5 wins for the Indians, but they're playing pretty competitive against each other, trading buckets. Here's Velasquez inside to Reagan. Nice drive into Moat. Boy, Moat saw an opening. He knifed right through, and he gets his first 2 points for the junior. 21-19, 6:12 left to go in this first half. Nice bounce pass into number 10, Johnson, and he nails it right there. Boy, you got to get in front of that if you're Reagan. And once again, we're knotted at 21. A little bit of pressure applied by Coach Penrod's Raiders. Clay. Now Moat. Well, they finally got smart. They're putting number 12 on Reinhardt, kind of shadowing Cantu wherever he's gone. We're going to count that one as Moat's going to go to the bucket, as Moat's second drive to the lane. They're going to call out on number 34, Quentin Mullins. But of note, we were watching Cantu, and finally Coach Penrod recognized that Cantu's on fire, so they're going to put a little, looks like they're putting Reinhardt on him on the defensive side, and he's going to, looks like he's going to follow around Cantu. And that'll be interesting to see if the Indians can get some screens going and still get Cantu to hit from the perimeter. As Moat takes his first shot, no good. Clay wisely backs off. Reinhardt with the board. Here comes the Raiders. Back to Reinhardt. Tries to dribble. He took a step. Yep, they're going to call him. So good call by the refs there. Called for a travel. Going to go the other way. 23-21. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on this cold February 20th night. A little bit warmer. I guess we could call it a heat wave compared to what we've had this week. Oh, bad turnover by Velasquez. That's going to drive Coach Byram crazy. Moat didn't see it coming and turnover to the Indians. And turnovers can be at a premium tonight with the way this game's going back and forth. Indians have had a 6-point lead, but found it dwindled. Now they're trading buckets left and right. Rickard, nice drive inside, guarded by Moat. Good defense by Moat, going straight up in the air, not causing a foul. And he comes back the other way with the ball. 3-on-4. Here's Clay. Clay's going to ball fake over. Reagan's going to take one from the top of the key, and he, thought it was going to go in, thought it was sunk, and it bounced back out. Unfriendly rim there for the top of the key, shot by the senior Reagan. And here's one from the top of the key, Kirtley, and he nails it. So right there, the Raiders take a 1-point lead, 24-23, with 4:46 left to go in this first half. Velasquez, Moat. And they're laying off Cantu now. Oh, nice pass inside of Reagan. A little too far underneath the bucket. Good pass, good notion by Moat, but Reagan was just a little too far underneath. Going back the other way. Nice inside feed to number 34, Mullins. Spin back the other way. It's stolen away. Velasquez ends up with it. And here comes Moat past the timeline. Boy, they're recognizing Cantu when they think about getting the ball. They're bringing him right out. Cantu drives. He's going to pick up a foul on number 30, Will Rickard. That's one thing. Looks like the Raiders are pretty tall, but I think Cantu's probably going to be the quickest kid on the court. So a nice little ball fake and spin around. I think Cantu's going to enjoy some fouls into that game as we got some substitutions here. Number 52, Owen Vickery, 6'3" junior, checks in for Coach Penrod. And who else we got? I think number 20, Miller. We have number 12, Reinhardt. Harris is in there. And 14, Dustin Woodward. Cantu, smothered. Here's Moat now on the right side. I think Cantu's going to have to earn the rest of it for the rest of the game now. You can't let somebody hit 4 threes on you in one quarter go unchecked. And I think Cantu will handle that well. The young man we talked all year, we talked about him and Clay being shortest guys on the court, but they're the scrappers, and I've always mentioned for entire Cantu's career, he might be one of the shortest kids on the court, but he plays like he's 6'5", 6'9", and he'll take it right to you. They're going to call him for a walk. And the Raiders will come back the other way with a 1-point lead and 3:15 left to go in this first half. Woodward. Reinhardt now. Reinhardt drives inside. Nice hands by the Indians. It's still going to remain Raider ball, but Reinhardt's going in for a layup, and the hand got in there by an Indian. It's going back to, they're going to change it and going the other way. So the refs change the call. It will be Indian ball. And looks like Penrod sends Austin Harris down to pick up Moat as he just now brings it in from Reagan. Velasquez back to Moat. Raiders back off. Woodward's keeping an eye on Cantu. They're making sure where he's at. We'll probably be calling his name a lot tonight. Cowper's still on the bench with those 2 fouls. Here's Clay. And I imagine if the lead would have been 4 or 5, I'd think you'd see Cowper come in as Reagan back gets it stolen away. He's smothered by the Raiders. Reagan kicks it back with his heel. Yeah. Well, they collapsed down on the senior Reagan, had 3 of them on him, and Reagan had a little trouble getting the ball into the Indians. We're going to have a timeout. at the 2:35 mark with the score. Southern Wells 24, Union City 23, and that's a full timeout. Want to thank our crew tonight, Madeline Abel. We got Josiah Bowers and my man, the Iron Man Walls, down in the control room. Of course, Phil Williams. We have the Cardona brother and sister team, Christian and Gloria, running the cameras tonight. They've worked a lot of games this year, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed a lot of the coverage in the girls and the boys. Of course, my man, Austin Hummel's usually part of that mix. He's taking a night off tonight, but pretty good when you have the same crew working the same games, and been pretty impressed with what, thanks a lot for all the comments you folks have made about the coverage we've been able to supply this year for you. And we can't thank the Randolph County United now and Cardinal Ethanol so much for their generous donations to our program to give us these high-definition images and bring you some of the really cool equipment to give you some of the coverages that we are doing here at these games this year. It'll continue to grow and continue to get better.
We'd like to remind everyone that at halftime this evening, we'll be recognizing our seniors. At this time, we need the senior parents to please report to the gym.
As you hear PA announcer Rick Lacey, I'd like to mention my history teacher in high school as well as my football coach. Give a little age joke on Rick Lacey, asking all the parents to get ready for halftime. And we'll stay around and bring you that coverage as well. He's trying to go coast to coast, but what a theft by Cantu. He's got numbers 2 on 3. Cantu's going to kick it out to Moat, out to Velasquez. Nice pick by Reagan. Cantu's going to take one from the right side, and he nails it. But I'll tell you what, Branson Reinhardt looked like he might have got a tip on it, but Cantu just got enough arc on it, and that's Cantu's 5th three. No, nice give and go there. Number 20, Keith Miller. Great bucket by the Raiders. Now we're tied at 26. 1:55 left to go as they're applying a little bit more pressure now as Harris picks up Moat. He gets it past the timeline behind the back. You got to watch that. Cantu again. He's going to, oh, nice fake. Gets him up in the air. Cantu misses that one, but that was a good look, though. Got the defender up in the air, and he took a step and then put it up in the air and just hit the front of the rim. He's going the other way as Woodward's going to drive in. Oh, nothing but an air ball there, but nice bucket by Vickery as he gets the rebound. The big guy, 6'3", junior. 28-26. 1:20 left to go as Moat brings it past the timeline. A little bit of pressure, but not enough. No call there as Miller went to the ground. That could have went either way, and it looks like a turnover Indians. As number 10, Taylor Johnson, and number 30, Tanner Johnson, Will Rickard checks back in for Coach Penrod. Reinhardt comes to the bench, much deserved rest there. He's had to really work down on the defensive end, chasing Cantu around. Nice pass inside. They end up with it again. Looks like it could have been stolen away by Moat, but Raiders end up with it. Nice seal off by Cantu. Vickery now at the top of the key. Looking inside, number 22 takes a step. Harris, they're going to get him for a travel. Looks like he didn't have the ball control and took that one extra step here as we're 56 seconds left to go in this first half. Let's see if Coach Byram has the Indians try to hold on to it until they get the last shot unless it's something easy. Again, Cowper has been on the bench this whole entire time with those 2 fouls. I would expect Calp to be in most of the second half as long as he stays out of foul trouble. As Coach Penrod's getting ready to bring Brandon Kirtley back in. Cantu, a deep 3, and he sinks it. Wow, what a half for Zarin Cantu. That's his 6th 3. Cantu with 20 points in this first half. Oh, nice spin around by number 30, Will Rickard. And we're 20 seconds in, 1 point lead by the Raiders. And I'm sure Coach Byram's going to want the Indians to take the last shot. 15 seconds. What can you say about the senior Cantu? I guess you could say he's feeling it. Oh, Reagan, nice inside pass to Reagan, but he lost the handle on it. Here it goes back the other way. 2 seconds, going to put it up. Got away with a little travel, but they're going to count it right at the end. Great bucket by Will Rickard. I think he took an extra step, but there's no whistle. And at the end of the first half, we have the Southern Wells Raiders 32 and the Union City Indians 29. Stick around. We're going to have halftime festivities recognizing the seniors, but we got a great game here in the Union City Gymnasium tonight on Saturday. Stick with us.
In just a few moments.
You're going to line everybody up, so just hang tight with us, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll make sure we'll recognize the seniors.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Union City Athletic Department and also the Randolph Eastern School Corporation would like to recognize our seniors along with their parents. Our first senior is cheerleader Brooke Nicely. Brooke is the daughter of Brian Nicely and Brandy and Brandon Ham. Brooke has participated in cheerleading for 4 years, tennis for 1 year, 4-H program for 10 years, the AVID program for 4 years, the FFA for 2 years, and Apache Design for 1 year. Brooke's future plans are to attend Ivy Tech to become a registered nurse. Ladies and gentlemen, Brooke Nicely. Our next senior, Zarin Cantu. Zarin is the son of Josh Cantu and Tina Stewart. Zarin has participated in football for 1 year and basketball for 4 years. His future plans are to attend Ivy Tech to study automotive technology. Ladies and gentlemen, Zarin Cantu. Our next senior, Hunter Clay. Hunter is the son of Billy and Tracy Reiser. Hunter has participated in football for 3 years, basketball for 3 years, and baseball for 2 years. His future plans are to join the United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, Hunter Clay. Our next senior is Elijah Cowper. Elijah is the son of Melanie Heinston. Elijah has participated in football for 4 years and basketball for 3 years. His future plans are to join the United States military. Ladies and gentlemen, Elijah Cowper. Our next senior, Hunter Reagan. Hunter is the son of Scott and Rhonda Reagan. Hunter has participated in football for 3 years, tennis for 1 year, basketball for 4 years, baseball for 4 years, member of the National Honor Society for 2 years, student council for 4 years, the DECA program for 3 years, the FCA for 4 years, the K.I.S.S TV program for 4 years, and the Science Olympiad for 2 years. Hunter's future plans are to attend college and study pre-medicine and hopefully play college baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, Hunter Reagan. Our next senior, Desiree Morton. Desiree is the daughter of Tanya Harsh and Doug Morton. She has participated in girls basketball for 1 year, track for 1 year, softball for 1 year, football manager for 1 year, and the boys basketball manager for 1 year. Her future plans are to attend IU East and study financial planning. Ladies and gentlemen, Desiree Morton. Union City Junior Senior High School Athletics wishes our seniors the best in their future endeavors, and also a big thank you to the parents for their support of Union City Athletics. Thank you and congratulations and good luck.
Meet Tommy. Tommy's not sure which sport he will play in high school someday. But no matter what he ends up choosing, playing sports in high school will help pave the way to a happier, healthier life. All Tommy needs to do is make up his mind. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. Pure launching pad for life.
For just 2% of a typical school's budget, high school sports give us plenty of energy and excitement. For just 2%, they also give us young people whose leadership and commitment to excellence will pay big dividends in our community for years to come. 2%. That's one investment we can all feel good about. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure launching pad for life.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everybody, to another conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Paul, it is perfect basketball weather. The snow is here. It's almost a tradition in our state to have snow in conjunction with tournaments.
It is, and that's what's great about Indiana. We'll get on inside, and we're going to play a little basketball in our cathedrals across the state, and not worry about the snow a whole lot, because that's what we've always done, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Well, it's a big weekend as we head toward girls' state finals. We have the semi-states at 6 sites around the state for boys. And, again, I marvel at how well this has gone on. You just have to be unbelievably proud and pleased that we are at this stage of the tournaments, both tournaments, and have had relatively few major interruptions at all.
That's exactly right, Bob. And, it's, again, I've said it before, but I'm going to continue to say it. It's a tribute to our schools, our families, our student-athletes across this state. They knew what they needed to do to be able to get to this point of the year, and they've done it. And they've worked their tails off and followed protocols and done everything they can to help us get to this point of the season. I'm just so proud to be in the state of Indiana with the folks that we have, because they've done it. And a lot of states across this country can't say that. And, it's just, again, thank you to all the people out there who have sacrificed to get us here.
And it's not just basketball. Obviously, throughout these past few days and currently, you still have other sports going on, because this is the Winter Sports Championship program, and it's busy. And the things we say about basketball, we similarly say about the other winter sports that the IHSAA presents.
Oh, absolutely. We know we just contested our first Winter State Championship last weekend with girls swimming, and Carrie Schludecker, an assistant commissioner here, did a phenomenal job of playing that event. And the thing that I'm so proud about that is that while we were short on spectators, every student athlete that participated in previous years, the same number of kids got to participate this year. We didn't cut opportunities for kids, student athletes. And that's what our challenge was in the beginning, but that was our goal, and we were able to accomplish that goal. And then we jumped to this weekend, Bob, and, we're getting ready to walk in Bankers Life on Friday with 224 wrestlers representing 107 schools across the state. And we're going to do some things different. We're going to have 2 sessions on Friday, but at the end of the day, when we get done Saturday night, we're going to celebrate a champion in each weight class and a team champion. And again, we're going to do it in front of some fans. Mom and Dad get to attend this event, so we're happy about that.
Speaking of moms and dads for wrestling, do we know exactly what the restrictions are going to be on for our basketball tournaments, or is it too early to make that determination?
Well, we know where we're at with girls basketball right now. They're going to be playing 1 game on Friday night, and then they'll play 3 games on Saturday. We will clear the facility between each contest. And our attendance numbers right now today looks like we're going to have about 2,000 spectators for each contest. Which, I'm happy with that.
Pretty good.
We never want to turn somebody away, but, at the end of the day, we're going to have 2,000 people watching their communities, their teams play. We're going to take that as a win. But we've got our IHSA network, and we're going to give all the opportunities we can to be able to watch the contests, even if you can't attend in person.
He's the commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Paul, congratulations again on a fantastic start to the championship season for the IHSAA sports, and best of luck to everybody involved in this weekend's activities. I appreciate your time.
Appreciate it a lot, Bob, and thank you again for promoting high school athletics across the state. You and all the folks that do it just make it special, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
Sportsmanship doesn't happen just on the court or on the field or on the mat. It doesn't happen only in the pool or on the green or the track. It also happens in the stands, on the sidelines, on the web, and at home. That's because sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. We remind you to practice good sportsmanship at all high school sporting events. Treat athletes and officials with respect during competition and especially in social media. And support your team's coaching staff. Remember, sportsmanship has a face. Yours. A message from your high school and the Indiana High School Athletic Association. A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
The athletic department wished to thank the following sponsors for their generous support of Union City Athletics. 3M Excavating, Botkin Trophies and Laser Engraving, the City of Union City, join the movement. Best Way Disposal, Cardinal Ethanol, Citizen State Bank, Double Z Home Improvement, Eco Vehicle Systems, Equus Consulting Group, Frank Miller Lumber Company, Hydrojet Signs Fabricating and Glass Components, Midwest Bankers Home Loan Expert, Derek Huntwork, Tree Hill Farms, real food made simple, Wiley Well Drilling, Woodcrest Lanes, the Smoke and Pin Barbecue, Didier Do-It-Best Home and Hardware, Kearns Brothers, the Union City Lions Club, Packasack, RL Painting and Manufacturing, Shuckney Electric Heating and Cooling. Now we take you to Union City Gymnasium courtside for tonight's broadcast. With a total of 20 points of the 29 of the Indians belong to the senior Cantu in his last home game on senior night. We had mentioned, if you're just joining us, we have a game rescheduled next week for Tuesday here at home at Centerville that was scheduled earlier in the week on Tuesday, but because of the weather we had, it had to been moved. So this is kind of official senior night, but the last home game will be next Tuesday against Centerville, and you can watch all that on KISS TV as we're just underway. And Moat, Clay, Reagan, Cowper, and Cantu are starting for the Indians. We mentioned Cowper spent most of the first half on the pine with those two fouls, but the Indians managed to keep it within striking distance, find themselves down by 3. Many times the Indians have been up as many as 6. It was nice feed inside Cowper from Reagan, but he couldn't get a handle on it. Lose it. Good rebound by number 10, Tanner Johnson. We're going the other way. As we mentioned, both teams have struggling this year. Raiders sitting at 3-17 on a record and 0-6 in the Allen County Conference, and Union City just a hair better, 5-13, as number 30 Rickard takes one from the right side, no good, but nice rebound by number 20. Keith Miller takes it back in. And Union City 1-6 in the Tri-Eastern Conference. So both teams not having a very good year. Of course, we mentioned some of the teams haven't been able to play a full season. Here's Cantu from the right side, his first shot from the second half, and he starts the second half where he began. Cantu hits another three. So I don't think Southern Wells can keep trading threes, but nice inside move by number 22, Austin Harris. And it's a 4-point lead. So Union City needs a couple stops here so they can get back into this game, but they can't rely on Cantu to carry them all the way. They still need to get some scoring, and bad turnover by senior Clay getting back over the timeline out of Mote's hands. It'll go the other way. Velasquez off the bench for Coach Byram. He's going to check in for the senior Clay. And let's see how Cowper is going to see how aggressive Cowper, the big man, could be at 6'5" down in the paint. They had a couple first half. They had some good drives down the lane. Oh, nice play by Velasquez with the steal. He's got Cantu looking up, but he slows it down. Here comes Mote. And that's what Coach Penrose is doing. They're making sure they know where Cantu is at all times. I'm surprised they're not putting somebody just to shadow him and face guard him. Cantu drives. He's going to take one up. Nice pass over to Velasquez. Out to Mote. Looking to see if they can feed it down to the big man. Reagan's inside. Got fouled on the hand, but no call. And nice steal back by Mote. Going to take it all the way in, and he's going to be fouled going to the bucket. And Mote's going to go shooting two, and it looks like number 10, Tanner Johnson's going to pick up a foul.
Raider foul, number 10, Tanner Johnson, his first. Team's first. Ryland Mote at the line.
Cantu with 23 points, 7 threes I got him unofficially, and 1 field goal. As Mote sinks his first one. We'd like to see that all year out of the senior Cantu, not just on senior night, but he is on fire as Mote sinks his second one. And I don't know how much maybe Cantu, it doesn't look like he's tired, and I think on senior night you got the adrenaline going, knowing that this is his last senior night, only senior night. And nice bucket from the left side by Brandon Kirtley. They're going to call that a three. And just like that, it's a 5-point lead. So Union City needs to get a couple stops. And maybe they can use Cantu's distraction as an advantage and free up another one of these Indians, maybe Reagan or Kalp inside. Cantu's going to take a deep three. Boy, that almost goes in. Big man right there for the rebound. Nice block by number 24, Kirtley on Cowper. And here comes the other way, Southern Wells. So Kalp looked like he had an easy bucket, but great block by Kirtley. Here's a 3 attempt by Johnson. No good. Boy, Union City's not in there for the rebound. Where's the big man? They had Cantu and Reagan down there. Kalp wasn't down to get that rebound. They scored it. And just like that, Southern Wells has their biggest lead of 7 tonight. And Coach Byram decides he wants a timeout. Wise timeout by the coach. You got to wonder how long LaFuse is going to be on the bench as well, because I think they're going to need his rebounding prowess down low, but got to feed it down to Kalp. I think that's why if you're Coach Byram, he's drawing up a play right there, but you can't rely on the senior Cantu to hit and carry the team all night. Just like that, we're in the third quarter and you find yourselves down by 7, and that's what's happened. Union City has let themselves, get a little lazy with everything, get a little lackadaisical, and letting the other teams get back into this game, and before you know it, they're up by 7 and 10 and more. And it's hard to come back from that, and Union City's got to do it in the third and fourth quarter. So definitely has the capability. And I don't know if you're going to look for Cantu set up a play to be open around the perimeter, because he's driven a couple times, but he's hit 1 field goal, but everything else has been around the arc. And Cowper with those 2 fouls. We'll see if Coach Byram tries to get him to play a little bit more aggressive down low until he picks up that 3rd or 4th foul. As the Indians will take the court again. And they'll have the ball, I believe. Who are they going to give it to? They're going to give it to the Raiders? Who was in that timeout? Yep. Reagan's going to take the ball out here on the right side, half court. And let's see what the Indians have dialed up coming out of that timeout. You have Reagan at the free throw line. Oh, nice steal by number 24, Kirtley. And nice pass over to number 20, Miller. Just like that, it's a 9-point lead. Just what and we just mentioned it, Camden LaFuse quickly off the bench for Coach Byram. He's going to come in and add some more height and rebounding. Nice pass in from Velasquez to Reagan. Reagan's going to take it up and under, and it scores, and a chance for a three-point play as he's fouled by number 10, Tanner Johnson. So great underhanded move up to the bucket by the senior Reagan. He'll go to the line.
Raider foul number 10, Tanner Johnson. His second. Basket was good by Hunter Reagan.
Reagan playing in his senior night. Got one more home game to go. And he misses it. Cowper. Oh, Cowper just picked up his third because he sent Johnson to the floor. So mental error there by the big man Cowp. I know he's not happy about it. And it looks like LaFuse is going to replace Reagan. Reagan's going to get a blow coming back to the bench. I can't imagine he's going to be on there long. Got a fresh set of legs, and LaFuse checking in for the first time the second half for Coach Byram at the 4:20 mark. Indians got to get some turnovers. Raiders are starting to play a lot better this half. So Coach Penrod must make some good adjustments. Good move by Cowper to lay off of him. Could have been a little body foul there. Once again, the shot, Cowper ends up with the rebound, long rebound. Here comes Cantu. He's got LaFuse on the left. Cantu slows it up. Over to Moat. Back to Cantu. Playing past to Moat. 3:53 left to go in the third. The Cowper's not even played, and Cowper took a walk before he put the ball on the floor. I don't know why Cowper's playing out a little bit, and he should be down in the post as Cowper's getting a little frustrated as he bounces the ball to the ref. You got to watch him, make sure Cowper don't get teed up on that. That's one thing. Cowper needs to keep his cool. Clearly the strongest and biggest guy on the court. But if you're Coach Penrod, I'd be trying to work on Cowper and see if we can't pick up foul number 4. But got to say, the Indians played a little better with Cowper on the bench that first half. So I don't know if that's going to be a minus or not. And I know the young man wants to be in there, being this last senior night game for him. And Cowper did miss a couple games with an injury. So I'm sure he wants to get back into form, get as many minutes as he can in for Coach Byram. Got one game Tuesday, but they're going to be picking the sectionals that will be played at Randolph Southern this year for Union City, the boys. So we got Cowp, Velasquez, Moat, LaFuse, and Cantu on the floor for the Indians. I think I have LaFuse listed unofficially at 2 fouls, so he can play a little bit aggressive either, maybe take some of the heat off of Cowp. Then Cantu, of course, smallest guy on the court, he's playing down on the block. The Raiders, just look, pass the ball around, look for a good shot, no errors, and just try to keep the Indians from getting back into this game, be your strategy. And just like that, LaFuse ends up with a steal. As the Raiders lost a handle on it, here's Moat. Every trip down the court now at the 3:20 mark with 3 left to go. They need to try to get some kind of offense and get some good shots. Can't rely on Cantu around the perimeter all the time, so we need to work inside maybe to Cowp and LaFuse. Cantu now back to Moat. Indians I just don't see any penetration out of the guards to try to bring the defense up as Reagan gets ready to check back in, comes off the bench for Coach Byram. LaFuse and Cowp just sitting down there, down low on the post. Good defense by the Raiders, not allowing the Indians to try it in. Finally, Moat tries to penetrate, and he's sealed off. Good defense by the Raiders. Nice inside move to LaFuse. LaFuse backs his guy in, and that's what you need out of the sophomore is LaFuse scores a bucket, backs his guy in. Here comes the Raiders, holding nice, gets a hand on it. Who's going to, that last touch by the Indians. LaFuse went for it, so great shot by the sophomore down here to back his guy in, make a move to the bucket, and an easy layup as Hunter Reagan checks in for Cowp. Cowp comes to the floor shaking his head with that 3 fouls at the 2:18 mark. So we'll see how long Coach Byram leaves Cowper on the bench. And with this lineup, maybe a little quicker with LaFuse in there and see if they can get the Indians back into this game. Nice steal by Velasquez. Cantu ends up with it. Here come the Indians. Cantu on the deal. All the way in. Left hand, no call. Oh, they did get a whistle. Okay. Didn't hear the whistle there. But Cantu's going to go to the line shooting 2. They're going to call out on number 24, Brandon Kirtley.
Foul number 24.
Kirtley, a 5'10 freshman, getting a lot of minutes for Coach Penrod.
First, team's third.
So Cantu's first time at the line here. And every one of these are critical as Cantu sinks it. Cantu historically has been at the line in crucial moments in his career at the Indians, and he's been able to convert most of those free throws when the game is on the line. As Cantu sinks his second one, brings the Indians to within 3 at the 2:09 mark with third quarter. So Indians playing a little bit more with a little bit more pep in their step here, a little bit more urgency. Nice inside feed. He's going to deep one from Harris from 3. No good. Velasquez ends up with the ball. And here come the Indians. Out to Moat. Not bobbled it there, but kept control. Thomas Moat looks like where he wants to pass it before he gets the ball. Nice attempted steal by number 22, Harris. What Moat's got to watch out is Velasquez is going to take a moon ball, and it's no good from 3. Here comes Kirtley, the freshman, a little tripped up by the fuse. No call. Nice pass inside to 34, Mullins. They're going to call an Indian foul. They're call out on number 20, Velasquez. I believe that's Anthony's first, as Kalp checks right back in at the 128 mark for Coach Byram. He's going to replace Moat. Moat hasn't been to the bench too much for a breather, so you got, imagine the ball handle dude. He's going to go to Cantu now as you got the 3 bigs in for the Indians. Reagan, Cowper, and LaFuse. As Kirtley's going to take one from the three-point line. Cowper, strong rebound, kicks out to Velasquez. Here come the Indians. Down 3, Cantu. Reagan, nice nice bounce inside to Cowper from Velasquez. Cowper backs his guy in strong. I don't think there's anything you can do there, as Mullins had to back off of him. Cowper's just way too strong down there in the paint. And I think that's what the Indians need to do, is feed it down there to the big guy until they can. Oh, nice leap and leaner there by number 30, Rickard, the other way.
Basket will Rickard.
So Cantu, we're under a minute now in the third. 3-point game. Velasquez. Reagan's setting up. He's trying to look like he's open for a 3. He's asking for the ball. Here's Velasquez again. Inside to LaFuse. LaFuse, nice little move. He's going to take it. And he's fouled going to the bucket by number 34, Quentin Mullins. So LaFuse has got the right idea, taking that one drop step, one bounce, and he's going to the bucket, and he's getting fouled. So LaFuse will go to the line and shoot 2. So we've talked about this sensational sophomore and those kinds of moves like that. You're going to see what that's going to look like his junior and senior year. He's just going to continue to improve. We've mentioned earlier in the season, I think if LaFuse can put about 25 pounds of muscle on him, he could beat Cowper. Because LaFuse has already got the finesse and the moves that we've seen down low all season long. As Fuse misses his second one, it's Reagan with a great rebound. And just about got stolen. Reagan didn't show the urgency to get it, so we go to the ground. It's going to be a jump ball, but Reagan kind of lazily went after it, and great hustle by the Raiders. And it's going to go back to the Raider ball, so and Reagan's looking to the ref, asking for an elbow going to the ball there. Looks like Reagan doing a little John to the freshman Kirtley down there as well. I'm sure both these teams want to win this game without question, but of course, anytime it's senior night, you do not want an opponent to come in and spoil your senior night. So the Indians are going to do everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen, down by 3, and we're at 10 seconds almost left to go here in this third quarter. So the Indians are going to have 8 minutes to try to get back into this ball game. As here's a 3, looks like that's a little off the mark. LaFuse with a strong rebound, but knocked out of his hands, and what a pass. Number 30 right there, Rickard, picking up the garbage as an easy bucket, and that's going to end 3, and the Indians are going to find themselves down by 5, 47-42 to the Southern Wells Raiders, and the Indians have got 8 more minutes left to go on this senior night to get back into this game and take the lead. So it's been a pretty good contest back and forth. As we mentioned, Cantu, 7 threes unofficially, 1 field goal, 2 free throws. So what's that math? 21, 22, 23, 25 points for Cantu unofficially, so he's got more than half of the Indians' points on this senior night. But you can't rely on him to carry you throughout the rest of the game. You got to get some help from the other kids, and LaFuse has been stepping up, and see if Moat can drive the lane some more and brings the defense up, and maybe that might free up Cowper or LaFuse for a nice pass inside. So hopefully that's going to happen here in this next 8 minutes. Once again, want to thank everybody for tuning in on this chilly February night on a Saturday, one game. And it's been a good one. It's been back and forth. I don't think the lead's been any more than 7 points by either team. They've traded leads several times, so right now it's a 5-point lead by the Raiders. Easy bucket down there right at the end of the third quarter. That's costly, and that's got to frustrate Coach Byram, something that easy and nobody blocking out. They got easy layup right at the end. Could have been 3, but now it's 5. Conversely, on the other end, all it takes is 2 from Cantu from the side, and he's from the perimeter, and he's pretty much proven he can do that from anywhere on the court. So here we go, 8 minutes as Cantu brings the ball up. Inside to Reagan. Reagan looks inside to Cowper, no doing. Back out to Velasquez, to Reagan. LaFuse posting up. Let's see what kind of move LaFuse. What a great spin move by LaFuse. And he goes to the bucket and draws a foul. LaFuse showed the quickness there, a little fake to the left and spin around. Didn't go in, but he's going to go to the line shooting 2 with no time off the clock there when that happens. So you need to convert from the free throw line, get the Indians back into this game. So I think that's what Coach Byram needs to do, start working the ball inside to the bigs. And when they collapse down in, kick it back out to Cantu for an open 3, and let's see if the Indians can get back into this ball game. And LaFuse redeems himself from those last 2 misses and hits his first one. And this young man sinks the second one, so 2 big free throws there by the man LaFuse. Here come the Raiders. It's a 3-point game. If you're the Raiders, just kind of work the ball around. They've done quite well this game and look for a good open shot. See if you can catch an Indian or 2 asleep. And Cowper, LaFuse, and Reagan really got to pay attention down there because you got Kirtley on the baseline, the freshman, who's had a sensational game. And they're going to call Velasquez on, and they're going to count that. They're going to shoot 1, but I think Velasquez got him. I guess they're going to call that in the act of shooting or whatever, but I think that was I think they could have waved that one off. But regardless, Reinhardt's going to go to the line. Looking to make it a 6-point lead if he sinks it. The lefty, in and out, no good. Kaup clears the boards. Here comes Rylan Moe, who's just checked in for Coach Byram. Reagan. I think they need to work it inside. LaFuse, nice crossover by Cantu. Down the lane, and Cantu gets another 2 points. 46-49 as we're just a minute into this fourth quarter. Raiders working the ball. Here's a 3 from Rickard, and he sinks it. Boy, that's got to be costly. And just after that, Coach Penrod wants a 30-second timeout, maybe to set his troops up as he finds himself up by 6. Union City's just trying to get back into this, but Sotherwell's coming down and answering with a 3 there by number 30, Rickard. So we'll see what Coach Byram has to tell his troops there, and Penrod wanted that quick 30-second timeout after that 3 to make sure everybody's on the same page going down here, because I think Mr. Penrod knows that these Indians can score at will, and the fuse is starting to heat up. Haven't really called Kaup's name that much, and Kaup, we talked about, one of the leading scorers in the Tri-Eastern Conference. Kaup averaging 13.8 a game. He's been in foul trouble, so he's nowhere near that. But Cantu has been picking up the slack. Cantu has more than doubled his 13.3 in the Tri-Eastern Conference, and that's good enough for 8th. But that's all a moot point now, as the Indians want to get back into this game and make sure they go home with the senior night victory against these Raiders. So one thing we got to watch Kaup in there with those 3 fouls. Got to make sure he keeps his head. As the Indians are going to bring the ball up, we have Moat, Reagan, Cantu, Cowper, and LaFuse in for Coach Byram. Reagan. And Cantu and Cowper occupying the same space. I'm sure you don't want that. There must have been a mistake, as Moat's going to take a shot, and it sinks it. Rylan Moat hits one from about 8 feet. And now the Indians decide to press a little bit, and that could get you in trouble. And here's an easy one for the Raiders as Cantu. Oh, good sportsmanship as the senior helps him up, but number 10, Tanner Johnson, went to the line. Cantu had to do nothing to foul him, but it did go in, so Johnson's going to be at the line to shoot 1. And if that's the case, if he hits this one, it's going to be a 7-point lead. Johnson bounced up, no good. Cowper, got to watch that. Number 22, Austin Harris, trying to sneak around and take away from Cowper, so I don't think he saw him there. So Cowper's got to bring them strong down and clear out. as Kirtley's getting his hands on another ball. The freshman's having a good game on both ends. I still think you need to set some screens for the big man. Kaup backing his guy up as Cantu gets it partially blocked. Raiders ends up with it. 6:03. This is the point where Indians can make some mistakes and start letting it get out of hand as the Raiders are going to work the ball around. Look for a good shot. The fuse pops out on number 12, Reinhardt, who's checked in. And it looks like Coach Byram's in a man-to-man. Where's the mismatch? Let's see. Cantu's on the freshman. Kaup, good defense by Kaup. Cantu ends up with it. Here comes the Indians. Cantu on the deal. He's going to go all the way in. No good. Bounce up. LaFuse wants it. Oh, LaFuse almost had it. They're fighting for it. And they're going to call a foul on. They're going to get that on the big guy. Or they're going to call a timeout. So smart timeout by Coach Penrod because he saw his troop was in trouble. I thought that might have been a foul down there because there's a lot of traffic. You had Galper and LaFuse and Reagan all trying to fight for the ball. Could have easily been called for a foul. So good break for the Indians. Smart play by Coach Penrod getting a timeout so his kids won't get in trouble. So kind of point where here's where the chess match can be. You find yourselves down 54-48. Every transition down the court is very important to both of these teams. You want to make sure when you score a bucket, you got to make sure you have your defense set and what kind of play you got after you score a bucket. Same way on the other end. If they score, you got to make sure you got your next play set to go. So been a pretty good game so far. Been an exciting game. It's nice to see some basketball after a week of no school, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me. I'd like to give a shout out to the National Honor Society as well as the Student Council. Mr. Hoggett and the Student Council representatives were all helping shovel out to some of the sidewalks down by the school around the city as they were off for yesterday, but it was nice to see that because that was one of the big problems. All these sidewalks just had so much snow that the kids coming to school, they had to, walk into school. They had no choice but to be in the road, and that's, of course, dangerous. And wisely, Superintendent Aaron Black just erred on the caution to make sure that these kids were still safe and did an e-learning day until we can get some of these sidewalks cleared off. So way to step up, Mr. Hoggett and his troops. As we're back to action here as Raiders bring the ball down. Could have been a bobble there. As they dribble back out, Moat, good aggressive defense. And nice steal away from Cantu. 1-on-3, Cantu doesn't care. He's going to fake and go in. And he's going to be fouled and going to go to the line. That's what you expect out of the senior. As we mentioned, 1-on-3, doesn't matter. Cantu's got the speed. He'll go right through him. And Jesse proves it right there. It didn't go in, but he'll go to the line shooting too. Can bring the Indians to within 4. And Cantu sinks his first one. Boy, for senior night, Cantu's got something to look back on after his high school career. What a phenomenal senior night he's had tonight. And the senior nails the second one. Perfect from the line is Cantu, 4 for 4. As we find themselves down by 4, does the Indians. And Reagan's going to get picked up with a push there on number 30, Will Rickard. I believe that's going to be Reagan's. That's going to be his second. Let's see here.
Union City foul, number 30, Hunter.
Yep, they got that for his first foul. So again, you can play a little bit more aggressive because you got another foul to give. Well, actually, you have 2 fouls to give if you're the Indians before they go on the line. The next foul committed by Southern Wells is going to send the Indians to the line on the 1-on-1. So they can still afford to play some aggressiveness. Well, nice give and go there from Kirtley into number 22, Harris. And Kaup's going to pick up his 4th foul at the 4:53 mark. Immediately off the bench is Velasquez. Too much speed around Kaup. Got around him too easy, and Kaup had to recover and got him with the body. So I'm sure the young man's frustrated with himself because usually he's dominating the boards, but they're just Kaup's just having a bad game. As big break for the Indians is Harris's first shot doesn't sink in. Here comes Velasquez. Let's see what Coach Byram does. Okay, 4:53, mark it down. Kaup comes in, comes back to the bench for 4 fouls. Let's see if the Indians can close this gap and see when Kaup reappears back into this lineup. I would say probably about the 2-minute mark, you got to put Kaup back in. As Harris sinks his second one, 5-point lead. Here comes Moat. You have Moat, Reagan, LaFuse, Cantu, and Velasquez in for your Indians. Velasquez, nice feed inside to Reagan. Reagan's fouled. Rickard got him on the arm. And I think Reagan, yep, I think they'll be at the line now. 1 and a bonus. That's the 7th team foul. So good break for the Indians. The Indians' next foul will send the Raiders to the line. So let's see what Reagan can do here. And he sinks it. So Union City, is save for those 2 free throws that LaFuse missed, have been really good at the line with Cantu and Reagan sinking one now. These are all critical at this point in the game. And Reagan sinks his second one, so good job by the senior. As they find themselves a 3-point, it's a perimeter bucket now. It's a Cantu shot within tying this ball game as Southern Wells brings it right back in quickly. And Reinhardt's going to take a 3. The lefty, no good. Cantu fighting for the rebound. Southern Wells ends up great pickpocket by Velasquez. Here come the Indians. They could tie it with a 3. Cantu's going to try it. Almost no good. Reagan, nice fake over to Moat. Moat's going to try a 3, and it's no good. LaFuse trying to fight for the rebound. They're in there. They're going to call a foul. They're going to call it on LaFuse. Hopefully that'll be on Cantu because that'll be 3 on LaFuse, I believe. Nope, they're going to get LaFuse, and I believe that's his 3rd. Yep, that is his 3rd. Still in good shape. But now every foul is 1-on-1 to the line. Both teams have 7 fouls. 2 more to give before it's a 2-shot. Will Rickard will be at the line, a 6'2" junior. Quick release, no good. Good block out by LaFuse. Reagan ends up with it. So big break by the Indians as Moat. Oh, Moat gets tackled. Moat suddenly stopped up, and Harris had a saddle on him. He's going to pick up a foul, and that's a push, so that's going to be a good break for the Indians, stopping the clock at 4:05, and Moat's going to be at the line to look to bring this within 1 if he can make both of these 2 free throws. Oh, looked a little too hard off the rim there, but great rebound by LaFuse. He puts up and he's fouled. LaFuse is going to go to the line. He's going to shoot 2. I think Kirtley, the freshman, is going to get picked up on that. Yep.
Raider foul number 24, Brandon Kirtley, his 2nd.
So LaFuse is going to be at the line for the 3rd time, shooting 50%, 2 for 4. These are critical. And it's no good. Young man's going to collect himself to shoot 1 more. And it goes in. I'll tell you what, I sense some overtime maybe the way this game's going. Oh, nice steal by Moat. He's pushed in. Who's going to end up with it? And they're going to call a foul on Reagan. And I believe this ref the Hagerstown game. I'll say enough about that. But I believe that was the guy that, never mind. I'll just be quiet about that as Coach Byram's giving him a little bit of a discussion there. I think that was a little too quick of a whistle there, and maybe that's what Coach Byram's talking about. As Rickard's going to go to the line shooting 1 and a bonus. But great steal down here on the other end by Moat, and Reagan tried to end up with it, and we had a scrum for the ball, and Reagan picks up a foul. Excuse me, Moat picks up a foul. And as he sinks his first one, does Rickard. Makes it a 3-point game again. So the Indians get within just striking distance, and turnover, something happens, and here comes the Raiders back, and they sink 1 or 2 or 3 there and extend that lead again as he hits his 2nd one. So good conversion there by Will Rickard, the junior. And the Indians find themselves down by 4 at the 3:55 mark. So let's see if the senior leadership's going to take over for this team. LaFuse asking for the ball. How much longer can Cowper be on the bench? As Moat's going to take it to the bucket, and he's going to pick up for his 2-shot foul. So that's what you need. As Moat decides to penetrate, and he's going to go to the line shooting 2. They're going to call out on number 30. Rickard picks up number 4 for him. Let's see what Coach Penrod chooses to do. As he goes immediately to his bench, and he's going to bring in number 10, Tanner Johnson, after this shot by Moat. Surely going to come in for Rickard. And nope, he leaves Rickard. Keith Miller comes to the bench, the senior. So Penrod chooses to remain with the junior in those 4 fouls. As Moat's going to put his 2nd one up, and he sinks it. So 2-point game there. This has been an exciting game, ladies and gentlemen. 3:44 left to go in this ball game. As Harris brings it down coast to coast. And Moat got away with a foul, but they no call, but it went in anyway. Tanner Johnson. So good bucket there by the Raiders, putting it back up to 4. So Union City has not seen the lead in quite a long time now. It's Cantu flashing across the lane. And they're making sure Reinhardt's going to follow Cantu wherever they go. The rest of them are in a zone. So smart play by the coach Penrod. And Coach Byram wants a full timeout, and maybe he recognizes that, and maybe we can set up a screen. And smart play by Coach Penrod to put Brandon Reinhardt and follow Cantu everywhere he's going here in this last 3 minutes of the game. So as we mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a chess match back and forth. Coach Byram and Coach Penrod setting up his troops on every bucket down and forth, what you're going to do on the offensive side, and if they score a bucket, what your defense is going to be. And we'll see if either team, I would expect the Indians maybe start pressing after they score a bucket and see if that's what Coach Byram chooses to do. And again, we're 3 minutes left, and the big man Cowper still on the bench. Cowper has had an un-Cowper-like game tonight, and I know that frustrates the young man. He's just got a couple of fouls that I think were genuine fouls, but they're little chippy fouls, but they blew the whistle on him. Cowper sits on the bench with 4. And the only person in foul trouble for Coach Penrod is Will Rickard, the 6'2 junior, who just picked his 4th up last time down. So here we go. Getting ready, both teams come back. So Coach Byram still has LaFuse, Cantu, Reagan, Velasquez, and Moat. 2 seniors on the court. And Moat, we talked about this. I don't know if you want to take enough time. Maybe you want to be a little bit more quick, get a play going as Moat's going to penetrate, goes up to the bucket, and he takes it in. So Rylan Moat's assuming control and taking it all the way in, getting the Indians to within 2. And just like that, Indians pressing just a little bit, but not a full court press. As Reagan gets a hand on it, he goes to the floor, and they get it back. Who wants it? They're trying to get a timeout. Boy, Kirtley's looking at the ref trying to get a timeout. Are they going to call a jump ball, or are they going to grant that timeout? I guess the possession arrow went to the Raiders. Interesting. I had that on the Indian side, so apparently the refs got it right. 2:50 left to go. It's a 2-point game. Union Cities are smelling to get within 2 points. They're just trying to smell a victory out of here. LaFuse, nice no call by the refs there. LaFuse could have easily picked up his 4th. Here comes Moat. Cantu on the wing. Nice inside between the back. Moat, he's going to try to go up. And they call a jump ball as Moat kind of loses the handle on it. And they could have called that on Tanner Johnson, but possession error will be the Indians now. So next jump ball will go back the other way. That could be a factor. As Union City can take the lead with a 3 or tie it with a 2. So it clears up to Cantu, guarded by Kirtley. That should be an education. Nice feed inside to Reagan. Reagan puts it up and in. What a great assist by Cantu. The game is tied at 59 with 2:24 left to go. Good position by the senior Hunter Reagan. He walked. That's a travel. Oh, they're going to call a foul. Wow. No, I believe with the Indian faithful over there, he took a step before that whistle. And that's what Coach Byram's going to tell him. Coach Byram's not real happy. He's talking about here, and Coach Byram is upset. I think that easily should have been a travel call on that one before the whistle, as number 12, Reinhardt's going to go to the line shooting 2. First one's off, 1-1, no good. So the next foul, Union City, will be a 2-shot foul, so they got to break their 1-on-1, and we're tied up here with 2 minutes left to go, 2:08 to be exact. And they call a block on Reinhardt. Yeah, I think that's a good call. He was moving. I think that is a good call by the ref there. That's the freshman's 3rd. Cantu getting some advice from Coach Byram here as Moat's going to go to the line shooting 2. And off the bench for Coach Penrod's Keith Miller. As Moat sinks his first one, the Indians finally have seen a 1-point lead at the 2:05 mark in this 4th quarter. I believe that's the first lead they've had in this second half. So every possession is critical. Every pass is critical. every mistake is critical for either team because it's going to be 2 shots from here on out on either foul. As Moat sinks the second one for the 2-point lead, and we're at the 2-minute mark. Here come the Raiders. Boy, straight to the bucket, and they're going to count it. And Velasquez, nobody came in to step up. Nobody stepped into that, and that's got to make Coach Byram upset, and I think he's going to tell his troop nobody came in to help. And that was a clear lane for number 20, Keith Miller, to go into, and he's looking to complete a 3-point play. As Austin Harris is going to check in for Coach Penrod here. And Keith Miller, the 5'10 senior, is going to shoot 1 to make a 3-point play. And if he sinks this, it'll go up by 1 for the Raiders. And he sinks it. And here's a substitution. Of course, Harris comes in. Miller comes back out, so that's the chess match we talked about, Coach Penrod. Here come the Indians. Down by 1, 155. Again, taking their time coming up the court. Not in a hurry yet, only being down by 1. You just want to make sure there's no mental errors. Make sure you're watching every pass and make sure everything's crisp. Boy, Velasquez, nice no-look pass into Reagan. Back to Velasquez. Here's Cantu. They're trying to free him up. Cantu, no good. Reagan's there, trying to get the ball. And this last touch by Hunter Reagan had the right idea, and they skied over to try to block that shot by Cantu. He had a decent look, and it didn't sink. Boy, that would have been a great 3-pointer as Hunter Clay, the senior, checks in for Coach Byram. Replacing LaFuse. LaFuse comes back, shakes his head, and big smile. I guess Clay's in there for speed purposes. As we're 62-61, the Raiders up on top. 1:27 left to go. And Penrod gets a timeout as Cantu was trying to get the ball going the other way. And a few questionable calls here in late part of the game. Had a few go both ways. So Cowper still remains on the bench. Interesting. I don't know, I think maybe on the chess match, maybe on the other end, you want him for defensive purposes. But of course, feeding the big man in, nobody can go up and get that. He's just too strong as LaFuse will check back in. I kind of wondered about that move. It had the senior Clay in for, I'm sure, whatever purposes Coach Byram wanted to, but you need LaFuse into that game. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a fantastic game to watch. We haven't called an overtime game all year, I don't believe, so we're still on an uneven score, so doesn't look like overtime, but anything can happen. And if it does go to overtime, you have one person in foul trouble for the Raiders with 4 with Will Rickard, the junior. And, of course, foul trouble, you have Cowper with 4 and LaFuse with 3. So if this does go to overtime, those fouls might come into play. And from here on out, both teams have 10 fouls apiece, so every trip at the line, every foul is going to be a 2-shot foul. 1:26. So here we go. It's going to be Wells' ball. Johnson's going to take it out. And he went the other over and back. What a mental error by number 30, Rickard. As it's going to turn over to the Indians. As they're going to call him over and back. Rickard shaking off his head, doesn't agree with the call. And immediately Coach Penrod chooses to bring number 22, Harris, in for Miller. So what a break for the Indians there at the 1:25 mark, being down by 1. Boy, what a cool could a Indian 3 be for this team right now. Velasquez into Reagan. LaFuse trying to get open. Reagan's going to take it up and throws it up, and it goes in. What a bucket by the senior Reagan. And he's going to go to the line to complete a 3-point play. Reagan was falling off balance, got the whistle, and he threw it up there, and it sunk. I got to laugh at that. We don't have a full crowd in here, and you can hear the dissent with the Raiders fans behind me, and they yelled something at Reagan. Reagan looked up at him, just smiled at him. No question about Reagan's character and the sportsmanship. As Reagan sinks the second one, so what a big 3-point play there by the senior Reagan. And the other way, just like that, Rickard causes another turnover. Reagan right there at the defense, so what a play by the senior. And it's going to go back to the Indians with 1:11 left. It's again the chess match. Harris comes back in for Miller for Coach Penrod. But what a couple big breaks there for the Indians. You want to use up some clock now. You're up by 2. But the way this Raiders team's playing, they've been going down the court quick and scoring some easy layup buckets, catching the Indians asleep. So let's see. And Cowper on the bench. Play a little keep away, if you will. I think you want to get the ball in Cantu's hands because I think obviously he's the best free throw shooter the Indians have. Give it to the senior, Velasquez, to Moat. Moat's had a good time at the line, too. There's going to be a time where they're going to have to start fouling. There's Cantu. He's got the ball now, guarded by the freshman. Velasquez now. Dribbles inside. Back to Cantu. That's who you want to have the ball. Kirtley's going to be fouling pretty soon. As Cantu's going to dribble inside. He's fouled finally by the freshman. And Cantu will go to the line shooting 2 with 27.3 left to go. These are going to be critical free throws by the senior Cantu. And he's carried this team. That's the fourth one on the freshman, Kirtley. And Cantu at the line shooting 2. So 2 of these would be monumental for the Indians with 27.3 left to go. It'll be a 2-possession game if he can sink these 2. Boy, nothing but ice in Cantu. Here's a big one for the freshman. And once again, Harris for Miller, Coach Penrod, the chess game. This is a big one. And he sinks it. 4-point lead by the Indians now. What a great fourth quarter here in these last closing minutes as the Indians claw back and take the lead on the play of Reagan and Cantu. And you don't want to foul. 22 seconds left, but it's a 2-shot foul. So number 20 is going to pick up the foul, and that's going to be on Velasquez.
Anthony Velasquez, his 4th.
That'll be the 4th on the junior. Going to send number 20, Keith Miller, the 5'10 senior, at the line. I think that's a generous height there. And the first one's no good. What a break for the Indians there. As number 14, Dustin Woodward, checks in for his first time in this half, replacing number 30, Will Rickard. A couple costly turnovers by Rickard, the junior. It's gotten the Indians themselves a 4-point lead. 22 seconds. Boy, what an amazing comeback this would be if the Indians come back to win this. And the second one's no good. And who's got it? Oh, the Raiders end up with it. And nice, what a block by Reagan. Here comes Cantu. 13 seconds left to go. And they reach around and they more or less mug him. And Cantu's going to go to the line. And who else do you want on the line but Cantu, and what the game that he has had tonight. Fans behind me not happy. Coach Penrod's giving the ref a little bit of an earful. And Cantu's going to shoot 2 more. And I think if Cantu, the senior, can make these 2, I think this will ice it. As Coach Byram wisely sends all his Indians back to the back, and Cantu's the only one on the line. And boy, what an end to a senior night here if Cantu can sink these 2. Automatic. What a shot by the senior. I don't know unofficially, but Cantu's got to be having 30 points. And what a closeout to his career, save for the game Tuesday night, but this would have been it. And Cantu nails it again. 68-62, a 6-point lead. Yeah, the Indians have got to back off. Let him run, let it get it. And just like that, Penrod wants to call a timeout, but 4.8 seconds left to go, a 4-point lead. So if you're Coach Byram, you do not want to foul. You want that clock to go off. 4.8. What clutch. 6 free throws by the senior Cantu, and he sinks all 6 of them in the 4th. On the play, you got to mention Hunter Reagan on a couple times. That 3-point play was one of the turnarounds to get these Indians back in, to get the momentum. And just like that, we had Rickard make a mental mistake down here on the end and give the Indians back the ball thanks to some of that defense by the senior Reagan. That's been, I think, the tale of this game right now, to get these Indians to get that lead so far behind in the 4th quarter. They have been trying to get back into this game. They've been finding themselves to get within 1, and the Raiders come down and extend it to 3, 4, and 5 points. But the Indians have managed to a 4-point lead on the play of seniors Reagan and Cantu at the line. Anything can happen still. It could be, 3-point shot, an errant foul. Center line that could tie this up. So no celebration yet for the Indians. They still have the job to do. Kirtley, the freshman, in. He's got 4 fouls. Reagan's it's going to be Indian ball, yep. So let's see if there's going to be a call timeout, see what the lineup is. Reagan's going to bring the ball out. Get it to Cantu, the senior. That's who you want. And he's fouled curtly. The freshman just fouled out, and Cantu's going to go to the line again. And this will ice it if Cantu can sink both of these. But with 3.3, I think you just let the time run out. I think the game's already over, ladies and gentlemen. Regardless, it's a 4-point lead, 3 seconds down. If they even come down to score within 2, you just let the clock run out. Game over. So I think that's what Coach Brown's definitely going to tell his troops. Cantu once again at the line just to add to his phenomenal game on his last senior night of his basketball career. Cantu, a freshman starter. I think he might have started his freshman year. What a great celebrated 4 years that senior has had. So even one of these is it. Wow. Cantu sinks again. 7 free throws in a row in this fourth quarter. And this one will do it. Warm up the bus. He sinked his last one. 70-64, just let the time roll out. And what a comeback by these Indians. As Rickard's going to try to hit it, and there's the end of the game. What a comeback. You got to thank Hunter Reagan and Zarin Cantu. What a great fourth quarter those two young men have. The last senior night for Clay, for Cowper. What a great way to pick up the rest of your team when the big man's on the bench. Camden, great minutes in as well as the Indians will go into the locker room with a victory, 70-64. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. What a fantastic game this was. We're going to be right back here Tuesday night against the Centerville Bulldogs in the Tri-Eastern Conference match. Want to thank everybody. Want to thank Christian Cardona, Gloria Cardona, Matty Abel, Jordan Walzer, and my man my man Bowers down in the control room, as well as Phil Williams. I'm Brian Merrill for KISS TV. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll see you Tuesday night. Everybody be safe and have a warm weekend.